on, the used market basically taps out.
People don't
Buyers don't trust
understand
it.
that.
Dealers don't.
People don't understand the rationality of economics. But the one part when I watched that video on those SUVs that are lose so much value and stuff was the rich people that lease it and then return it before the warranty and then write it off on their taxes. So, oh, okay. That's why this stuff all does that. Right. Okay, so this is a manipulation of genocidal operations to see which people are irrational and will do things, in anti-proverbs type of thing. I wonder if it makes you wonder, is this organized in a way that's, I don't know. You can't really call it organized. No, because when you're doing things, they're taking natural resources and they're destroying the ecosystem to build these vehicles. And these vehicles are depreciating and they don't work. And it's 2026, and instead of simplifying things that work properly and work efficiently, they're complicating things even more to meet certain standards for excessive compulsive behaviors with the vehicles. And so when you sit and you look at them, you're just like, wow, this is insane. There's no, it's not organized. There's no logic to anything that they're doing. There's no Psalms, Proverbs, and there's no Lord's Prayer to deliver us from all of the hell that denies us Psalms and Proverbs. And so when you sit and look at it, you're just like, wow. Last night I watched one there's a man named Don Lemon. He's like a political activist or something. And this young man is sitting there talking about he's so excited because this man's going to go to prison. I feel like somebody who's, you kneeling down to ask a woman to marry you. And I'm like, because corporations are attacking other corporations. And one of the corporations is going to incarcerate one of the guys from the other corporations, and you're as excited as you're going to marry your wife in a holy covenant living the Lord's Prayer. You're a crazy fuck, man. You're as crazy as he is. But they had the thing on that, and he said, it's funny. He goes, I think it's hilarious. He goes, this black guy with these black people in Minnesota are going to get incarcerated because of a law that was invented during the Jim Crow era, right? In the South, after Lincoln was assassinated. And you're like looking at that going, you guys do know that the people that invented that law owned their wives and their children as property. Okay. Even after the Dred Scott decision of 3/5 of a man, right? But there was a war, they mass murdered each other over ownership of property, and a lot of that was human beings. And afterwards, the black men were declared human beings, men, but the women and the children were still property in 1871, if you're going to use that law as precedent for this lawsuit. Like, how does that apply? How does that apply? And it doesn't apply. Since children and wives are not property, and they were in 1871, how is that law still applicable today? Right? You need to think about things before you look at legal precedents and say, oh, wow, this is legal precedents. And you sit there and go, and the most amusing part is they base this law off of, moral values and laws based on a book called the Holy Bible, where in Genesis, life is eternal and grace is infinite. And Psalms and Proverbs, have faith in this and don't be strayed by people that see themselves as, the owners of the world. And so and they can invent their own laws to circumvent natural laws for the infinite essence that provides for our lives when we honor and obey natural laws and love one another, eternal faithful peace. So, I understand that quantum computing and it's not going to work as well as me. It's going to reflect me because you can't, you have faith in the infinite essence. You understand all the natural laws for an eternal existence. And, like that one guy, well, gravity's working weird. It's not working weird there. It's working the way gravity works in that kind of a situation where Pluto's at and what Pluto's doing. Okay, Pluto's going to work radically differently. Gravity is going to work differently as concerned to Pluto as opposed to Mercury. There would be similarities, but obviously differences because Pluto's taking this large track around the sun and the solar system, and Mercury's got a fast track, right? And so, but both help maintain what is required for us to do what we need to do to live every day, right? And so it's nice to know, And little Pluto is the first planet from the sun. And so, people are nuts. But no, it's not scary to me. That Pluto, it's so small and this and that. The way it gets through what it does and does what it does, shows that it's everything's built and put together to do that. Like in a good vehicle, and so you just have to look at it. And as long as we do our part and do our maintenance for our planet and make sure everything's working good on ours and maintains balance and harmony, then so on and so forth. Like I said, don't worry about dying. It takes care of itself. Worry is when you're not doing things right and you want to maintain a position of manipulation, and then you worry about maintaining that position of manipulation. When you're doing things right and you got help and you got love and you got kindness, you got people, like I told Dad when we did this roof, but in a better world and society with better people, Patrick and Natalie, all the people would have been here to help do it, right? Would have got it done real quick, and in a lot of ways it would have been fun because you'd been doing it with a lot of really intelligent, good people working together, make sure nobody gets hurt and that we do it correctly. And ringing in the sheaves. And so I'm uncomfortable because of contributions from viewers like you. But I'm a good person, life eternal, and grace is infinite. And I know in the future, because of myself and largely because of myself, in correcting technology to make it reflect me as opposed to people that are competing with me, which is insane. People are going to be more physically comfortable because, when you're, ma da, ma da, ma da, ma da. It's more comfortable when you don't have this kind of insane socio-psychopathic behaviors. They showed me other videos with that thing. This guy's 6'8", 400 pounds, right? And you're like watching him do all these insane things, moving these weights around, and you're like, you do know you're a human being. You can do things in a healthy manner, which is probably not too difficult for someone that size. Okay. Like a rhinoceros, it's not too hard for them to, And so it's just a genetic trait in that human being, right? And so you look at it and go, oh, okay, you don't piss off the, rhino man. Okay, Spider-Man, okay. But you also know that it was men like that were Goliath, and how quickly David dispatched of that man because he thought he could do anything he wanted because of his girth and his size and his capacity to abuse through it. And David took a rock, hit him between the eyes, and cut his raping, murdering head off. And hated doing it, cried. 3 days, just cried. Like Saladin used to do too. And the thing is they had this one video on there too about the things you don't care more when you get older. You care, he's using the word, things that concern you less. Okay? When you're an intelligent, compassionate, brave, beautiful, faithful person, you always care. You care about what happens to the 6'8", 400-pound man that's, hey, don't do that. That's not good for your neck. Okay. Stop doing that. It's not making you healthier. Okay. Doing things excessive and compulsive, like Franco Colombo pulling the train car off his teeth and says, that's not good. That's not good for your teeth. It's not healthy. Okay. Why are you climbing the mountain? Why are you skiing down it? Okay. You need to do things that are healthy. And when your body needs to respond to be healthy, to maintain a healthy environment and life from the glory of grace, it'll respond and do what it needs to do. And it'll do it correctly and it will do it right. It will survive, stop, eliminate abuse, and recover. It's absolutely gorgeous. I know. No, I don't look like any of those egotistical turd bag tool bags at the award shows. Okay. But when I'm done cleaning up this hellhole, we won't have to look at your egotistical expression. Most likely to succeed, most likely to this, most likely to fuck you. Okay. Most likely to succeed at what? Being an asshole and making other people feel inadequate and miserable because they're alive, and stuff. And it cuts both ways, because, how many people hated me and were jealous of me their whole lives and all through school and stuff because I was the protector of the bullied. I hate that motherfucker. He thinks he's all that. He thinks he's so cute. He thinks he's so cool. Everybody likes him. Not everybody likes me. You hate me. McDaly hates me. The quarterback hates me. The offensive linemen usually like me, and so do the centers. They like me. Well, he's fun to play with. He has a soft shot. He's a willing passer. He carries. So yeah, the other guards, I hate him. He thinks he's all that. He thinks he's so good. Well, I am. Ask the center. Okay, ask the power forward in the center. Right, and so yeah, the same with offensive linemen. It's nice blocking for you. These guys are assholes. Blocking for you to score touchdowns, that's wonderful, right? That's what Philip used to tell me. No, I hate blocking for these two assholes. If you played, run, Bambi, run. It's gorgeous. You're just mad because you can't knock him down. Well, because Bambi, Bambi's a good guy. He's not an asshole. He believes in God. He gives us faith in God. He's the source of holy covenants, Bambi's fucking gorgeous. Trust me, I'm Bambi, and I know. Okay. And when Bambi is tortured and abused by jealous perverts, it's sad. And it affects, when the jealous perverts torture and abuse Bambi, it affects their own families. They're always on TV. Well, my family's dying from cancer. Because you're not living the Lord's Prayer. And it's so sad, and I got to make money to get them into the Catskills and get the proper treatment from the auto repair place that treats your body like it's a car. Right, and then it drops in resale value and hold and sell it to Carvana. We're assholes. Yeah, I know. Been explaining it to you for June 2009. It's been a while. Since Earl went online and did the little Michael Jackson video without his face so you couldn't see it. It's unreasonable to think that basically what I was saying, it's wrong to quit to guilty and to die just to sin is sin. It's wrong to think that people that do bad all the time should be praised and be able to keep doing it. And it's wrong for people that try to be good to get abused and then, your Jesus will never win. Your Jesus will never protect you. You're stupid and believing in God and praying to your Jesus. Jesus was crucified. The apostles were hunted down by the Roman perverts that gave us the Vatican. That's the biggest child molesting bank in the history of the world and the biggest mass murderer organization in the history of let's get together and kill in the name of God. Forget about it. What you took? You talking to me? You talking to me? Okay. So, only a Pewit judges a man by the group and a group by the man. Volare, oh, cantare, oh. No wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given it wings, right? So, there's good and bad in everyone. We are what we do. And we are what we choose to do. And we're millions of years in the making of our current selves. And we're hundreds and thousands of years in relativity, of what we reflect today. And in 6 months, if you're capable and you put the effort in, you can stop sodomizing people in prison and feeling powerful doing it. Okay. It's pretty gross. Impacting, causing yourself where you have to cath and putting fecal matter into your penis to feel powerful, raping another man, and then breaking down his rectal structure and killing him, and having an actor pretend to be dying from AIDS, talking to Jennifer Lopez, the actress. It was the best sex I ever had. In prison was great. Oh yeah, I got fucked to death, and I always wanted that. It's hundreds and thousands of years in the making. Because forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Why have you forsaken me, right? So I guess the little thing about Giovanni Versace and the little talks up on the roof. Well, when this whole world starts getting me down and people are just too... And the air is not fresh and sweet up on the roof in a city. No. It's just a little bit better than what's settling down below. Not much. No. You're near the Osiarco stacks in El Paso. It ain't really much better up on the roof than it is down on the ground going, they killing us. These motherfuckers don't care if we live or die. No, they don't. Put the gasoline in the river, Rockefeller. You've got to provide the oil lamps to all the rich people's industry. Oh, that sucks. And then we'll teach Ford how to put it in a combustible engine and have us all killing each other with hard disease. Diverse beasts of the Book of Daniel. Diverse beasts of the Book of Daniel, yeah. It's weird, my family still does that to me, I talked to them about the Bible as well as say that. Yesterday, Linda was telling me that, it doesn't talk about the United States in the Book of Revelation. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Okay. Linda, when they wrote it down, okay, if you wrote down the United States didn't exist. It just talks about Europa. Okay. Do you know any other country that has used the nuclear weapon on its own people before it went and used it on the Japanese and the Okinawans? Bueller? Okay. So far, it talks about the use of the devil and Satan and the use of the nuclear weapon to deny us the Lord's Prayer. And so far, okay, everybody else has talked about it. But the people that did it, they're the champions for God, and Jesus is our God bless America, manifest destiny. And you're like, no. The only people in the world that used the nuclear weapon, okay, and tested it and killed the Tularosans and the people that made it, and then used it anyway on the Japanese and the Okinawans to dick measure with Joseph Stalin, okay, is the people that you vote for president. The people that think in 1871 they own their wives and children as property. That's why Joseph Smith and Brigham Young just went west and just kept on walking. Okay, and then what happened? Then the bastards that tried to eradicate the people that thought like them off the face of the planet. Yeah. Replace them with comic book character bullshit. Same thing that always happens, just like it says. And today, we have quantum computing to be better crime scene investigation than Lisbeth, High Potential, Matlock, and all the rest of you wackadoodle producers on TV trying to make yourself look superior to the inferior of a religious mook. I'm proud to be a religious mook. Thank you very much. It's good to be a religious mook. You're such a mook. I am the proudest religious mook in the history of the world. Well, because I represent Jesus and Mohammed and Suzuki and Haile Selassie, and I represent Confucius and Judah Krishnamurti. And that makes me feel very proud. I love Steve Biko too. And Bob Marley's my Parsons and Marley's are cousins, and yeah, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. I'm proud to say that to people. You know, I'm the Messiah, and Bob Marley's my cousin. And don't you know he's my cousin? Mom had a big crush on him. like Natalie has crushes on you. We all do. I have a crush on Ella Fitzgerald. Okay, can't help myself. Tisket a tasket. And if and I can't imagine that you love me too. So, you know, that crush, you watch Dorothy Dandridge do Cow Cow Boogie, and you can't help, she's so cute. Poor baby's lost in that hell. It's so sad. She's so cute. She's so adorable. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. Right? You can't help but crush on her. It seemed to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind. Right? Like Bernie? Yeah, like Bernie. Everybody like Bernie? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I gotta go up on the roof when this soul world and finish the nuts. Fucking nuts. Okay, so no, I like the nuts. I'm talking about you. You're the nuts. Okay, nuts like in the Barbra Streisand movie with Richard Dreyfuss there. Not talking nuts like I love pecans for clack click clip cookies. Pecans for black click clip cookies. They're the best. Yeah, Mada. I hope Steffi's, surviving tolerably, and once I clean this fucktard factory insane shithole up, that she can recover and enjoy a much better life, and people will be very, she'll be doing better because people won't be doing shitty things to make her go through PTSD, because we'll be living the Lord's Prayer and Psalms and Proverbs sustaining, and Patrick will be around her. It's okay, Mom. I love you. I'm right here, Mom. And he'll have little grandkids for it. Grandma, we love you, Grandma. Grandma, if you go to the zoo, Grandpa says kick you in the butt. No, I'm just kidding her. I didn't say that. I did, but it's funny. Okay. I can still faster than you. Okay. Still outrun you. Okay. It's funny. I love you guys, man. Okay. We'll talk later. All right. Peace.